In a quiet corner of the countryside, nestled beneath the roots of a great oak tree, lived a country mouse. Her home was small, but warm and filled with love. On this peaceful morning, she was busy tidying up, dusting her shelves made from bark, organizing her little acorn cups, and fluffing her thimble-sized pillows. She hummed as she worked, enjoying the calm rhythm of her simple life. That evening she set a tiny table with care, corn kernels placed one by one, carrot slices from her garden, crunchy acorns arranged neatly, and a cool glass of water drawn from the nearby stream. Just as she finished, she heard footsteps, quick, energetic, slightly chaotic. She peeked out the window, and there he was, her old friend, the city mouse, marching up the trail in a bright red blazer, sunglasses on, and dragging behind him a cheese-shaped rolling suitcase. "Country cousin," he called out, arms wide. "I brought stories, snacks, and possibly a mild case of city flair." She greeted him with a warm smile and invited him in. As they sat outside, sipping from bottle-cap teacups, the city mouse spoke with the excitement of a wind-up toy. "The city!" he exclaimed. "Oh, you wouldn't believe it! We have museums taller than trees, theatres that sparkle, restaurants where the food comes on tiny boats." The country mouse blinked. "Boats?" "Yes! Little wooden rafts. Sushi floats down a stream. Have you ever tried dumplings? Or lemonade in a bottle with a marble inside?" She smiled politely and served dinner, her best garden harvest. The city mouse poked an acorn with his fork. "Interesting, very rustic," he said. "But don't worry, we'll fix that. You must come visit me. You simply must. My house has 20 rooms." That night, the country mouse curled into her bed, her head resting on a soft thistle pillow. As the moonlight poured through the window, her mind wandered. She dreamed of everything he described, of glittering lights and noodle bowls, of elegant dresses and shops that sold nothing but hats. In her dream, she wore an enormous feathery hat and sipped tea in a grand salon, surrounded by polite mice who clapped when she said fancy things like divine and darling. She walked through sparkling streets with shopping bags, stopping only to taste glowing dumplings served on golden plates. She dreamed of being important, of being admired. And when she woke up, heart fluttering, she made a decision. She pulled out her little polka dot bindle, tied it up tight, adjusted her straw hat, and said aloud, "It's time I saw the city." And so the two mice set off, past the garden, through flower fields, and over winding dirt paths. They rode a leaf carriage pulled by a giant ladybug, the breeze brushing through their whiskers. The countryside slowly melted into concrete. Trees became towers. Birdsong was replaced by car horns. "Welcome to the big city," announced the city mouse as they stepped onto a sidewalk buzzing with motion. In front of them loomed a giant building, its front door taller than a mountain. "This is where I live," he said proudly. Inside, the country mouse marvelled. The hallways stretched for miles, furniture legs like tree trunks, light pouring in through windows higher than she could imagine. "Which room is mine?" she asked, eyes twinkling. Well," said the city mouse, suddenly sheepish, "we actually live downstairs." He led her to a crack in the floorboards and down a creaky stairway into the basement. There, the world was entirely different. Dim, dusty, cluttered with hammocks and pipes, and noisy housemates brushing teeth, playing cards, arguing about crumbs. A droplet from a leaking pipe splashed onto her foot. She wrinkled her nose. "It has character," the City Mouse said, grinning. She said nothing. That evening, he grabbed her paw. "Come on, it's dinner time!" They climbed a napkin rope all the way up to the human dining table, scaling it like adventurers. And there it was, a feast like she'd never seen. Cookies as big as her head, puddings that jiggled like jellyfish, lemonade in sparkling cups, and right there, steaming in a paper box, Chinese dumplings. "Now this is dining," said the City Mouse. But just as she picked one up with both paws, a great shadow fell over the table. The cat, a monstrous orange blur with wide blinking eyes and claws like hooks. It pounced, crash! Plates flew, cookies exploded, chopsticks launched into the air like javelins. The mice screamed, sprinting across the table, leaping over spilled sauce and dodging the swiping paws. "Don't look back!" shouted the City Mouse. They dove into a tiny hole in the wall just in time. Hearts pounding, they waited in the dark, listening as the humans returned and devoured the remains. When they peeked back out, the feast was gone. Not even a crumb left. The City Mouse shrugged and held out a fortune cookie. "Maybe it says tomorrow will be better?" The Country Mouse just stared at it. No smile, no words. Back in the basement, she silently packed her bag. "Wait, what are you doing?" he asked. "Where are you going?" She looked up. "Back home," she said. "Your city life isn't so wonderful after all." And before he could protest, she climbed into a leaf taxi and rode away under the blinking city lights. The further she travelled, the lighter her heart became. The air grew fresh again. At last, she stepped onto her garden path, where the daisies swayed and the sun peeked through the trees. Inside her nest, everything was just as she left it. She hung her bag on its little hook, fluffed her thistle pillow, and smiled. That evening, she sat outside, sipping from her flower-petal cup, while a butterfly landed softly on her ear. The sky turned golden. The world felt quiet and whole. And as she watched the wind move through the meadow, she thought of the City Mouse and all the things people say when they want to sound important. And she smiled again. Because sometimes other people's lives aren't as perfect as they seem. And sometimes the best place in the world is right where you started.
Bunny book